Hey everybody, we're on the streets of New York City. I got about 20 minutes and I labeled my video, which I used to do with my podcast. After the fact, after I would do my podcast, then I would come up with the name for the broadcast because you never know where you're going to go with the broadcast. So I labeled this one tonight, Hillbots versus Berniebots. And I'm just going to let all of us vent about like what happened this weekend. But I had a specific event myself, not just with what happened with the DNC and how pissed off we should be about that. But this weekend, I mentioned that I was a Berniebot, and I only wished I was a Berniebot. We got into a Berniebot discussion on my Facebook page, only because I admire his energy, his integrity, all those things that I don't have. I've never had a career or done anything like Bernie or close to it. So if I could be a Berniebot, I'd be happy. So I got into an argument with a Hillbot. And then several Hillbots jumped in. Now, I want to go through some of the things that these Hillbots said because it will blow your mind. One of the things that I have this all screenshotted, so if anybody wants to see proof that this actually was said, I can send you the screenshots. One thing that was said that they blamed the election for was one person blamed black people. Not enough black people went out. And I don't know if he said the word lazy or not, but I know it was racial in tone. So I have that screenshot. So he actually said that it was black people were to blame for not voting for Hillary Clinton. And maybe it was black people that were smart enough not to vote for him. Maybe the super predator thing got to them. Maybe the crime bill got to them. Maybe they just weren't going to go to maybe they're fed up. Maybe they just didn't buy into the whole Hillary Clinton line. So that was one shocking. I had never really heard, I had never had a Hillbot come at me with the black people didn't vote narrative. I was shocked. Now all these people were from Texas, I believe. And again, if you want to see the person's actual message to me or the post, I will send it to you through Facebook Messenger. So the other thing, of course, that we always get called at the end of the argument, and I'm going to jump to the end of the argument with this woman. She called me a sexist and a misogynist. Now, I never said any term. Now, I sometimes think that they get that sexist, misogynist narrative if people out there call Hillary Clinton a bitch. I think, that's a reason to say sexist or misogynist, but I've never, said it even in joking manner, like I wouldn't vote for that bitch. I've never used those terms. I did in this argument. The only terms that I used was hypocrite and coward. I usually only use hypocrite and a coward in any kind of argument back and forth. I don't get into any other, kind of argument. But it was just so apropos that it happened this weekend, right? That you really get to see, and they said that they would pray for me. And again, the person said they would pray for me, that I had problems. And one of them told me that I should take my meds. And then later on, when we were arguing back and forth, he freaked out. And I said, maybe you should take your meds. And then somebody called me an albiist. It was just shocking. And I know that everybody, whether you're a Jill Stein person or you're a Bernie person or you're an independent, have gone through this with Hillary Clinton supporters. So when you see a Tom Perez get elected, you know what we are up against. And the reason why I'm a Bernie fan is only because of the metrics, the numbers. If you go to, and I base this on social media numbers. If you go to Jill Stein's page or Twitter, she doesn't have the numbers. So I don't know what the answer is. But as far as a real movement of numbers and who can drive that. And people don't like, the idea that it takes one leader. But I'm just saying the numbers show that it has to happen in this society, in the zeitgeist of America. But I know that you've all experienced it, right? Every person who's tuning in right now has experienced this crazy, and I don't even like the term Hillbot. It was just funny that someone had mentioned the term Berniebot, and I said that I wish I was a Berniebot. That's a compliment to me. And then fireworks ensued. But I think everybody who talks on this page right now, who's a progressive, who's gotten into an argument with Hillbot has, and I don't even know what to call it. Is it irrational? Or, first of all, I voted for Jill Stein, right? So, and I've never used the term bitch or any kind of condescending term when it came to Hillary Clinton. So I don't know how I'm a misogynist or a sexist if I voted for Jill Stein, and I've never used these terms to describe Hillary Clinton. So I don't understand that narrative. I don't know how they sweepingly call us, all misogynists and sexist. And I think we've all experienced that, right? And again, they're using that narrative during the DNC debate. Again, the racist thing was new about the blaming the black voters was new. And then they blamed it on my age. They also said, oh, you young people will never get it. You'll never understand how this country works. He said young people. So again, so there was ageism in that. So in the course of like a 10-minute argument, I experienced all levels of, I don't even, what do you call that behavior? Is that really what's indicative? And it was a woman, an older gay guy who was Catholic, an older gay Catholic guy, a woman, and I forget what the other guy was. All attacking me online because I said I was a Bernie supporter and I was against, Tom Perez and I was against Hillary. And the woman came on and she started it by laughing, said, being a Bernie bot, that's no compliment. And I said, this is how the argument started. I said, well, and then she wrote LOL. And then I wrote, well, 53% of white women voted for Trump. So I don't know why you're blaming us. You should hold some accountability. I just want them to hold some accountability, and they have zero accountability. Right? Electing Tom Perez, to me, is zero accountability. That really is the nail in the coffin for everybody. We can't go back. We can't work with them. There's no way. We know what Tom Perez means. We know the messaging that he's going to use. We know his history of the TPP. We know that he's in bed with and again, I think one of the major problems and why I come back to this network is I don't think people realize, we're progressive, so we're considered out there, and Breitbart is like the wild side of us, right? They're like the really evil side. Well, we're like, progressives are like, yes, take care of everybody, and alt-right's like, take care of nobody, and we're nationalists. Well, they get billions of dollars into that website. The Mercer family invests heavily into Breitbart and into Donald Trump's campaign. We have to do this grassroots because it's important, and I'm going to come back to all your comments. Just give me one more second and I'll go back to your comments. Everybody's going crazy. So I'm sure everybody's had an experience with a Hillbot. And again, I don't like that term Hillbot or Berniebot. I just try to make fun of it. I just think, I don't usually call anybody a Hillbot. But I will check out your thing. But the thing about grassroots media, and I know I've talked about this with you guys, is that you have to be able to talk freely about whatever you want, as far as, as long as it's not completely out of control. But anybody who's on the payroll, anybody who has an overlord cannot say what they want to say. It's almost like across the board, right? So that's why grassroots and this network is so important. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm sorry. You guys are going crazy tonight, and I'm missing everything. So let me get to the top. I remember landscape is really difficult for me. And oh my God, there's a million comments. Oh God, I'm so sorry, guys. And it flipped all the way back to the front. I'm going rogue. Oh, I can't do that. I'm already in landscape. Oh God, I'm so sorry, people. All right, hold on. Just give me a chance. Crystal says they have no answer to that. They said they're a special place in hell for women who don't support other women. Right, well, that's a perfect example. That was Crystal. Gabriel McCarthy, they do that because they don't want to prove you wrong. They just want to shut down the conversation down so they can feel like they've accomplished something. Yeah, I guess, but it's always, if you've gotten into arguments, it's so repetitive. I voted for Jill Stein because Bernie wasn't on the ballot. I do agree with her. I voted for Jill Stein too, Kathy. Freddie says you cannot rationalize with the crappy people. There is no logic. That's true, Freddie. But sometimes, Freddie, I troll and get into arguments because I want to have something to discuss, and I want to see where they come from. I was really shocked with the racist comment that they blamed black people on the thing. I was just like, how did you blame black people on this? White women didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. The majority of white women didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, and you're going to blame black people. I mean, could that be any more racist? Irrational says Mary Jane Smith, Coke. Susan says, so true, you're spot on. And everybody's experienced this, right? So the Tom Perez thing really is for all of us, and I'm going to keep scrolling through, but the Tom Perez really, for all of us, is the nail in the coffin, whatever you want to call it. I have no jokes tonight. I'm sorry, but it is all over for them. We can't go back. We know exactly what Tom Perez is. We know also that, as Steve was saying, Keith Ellison was giving this wink to us, like, we're going to go progressive, and they're not. So let me just... Clinton got a better voter turnout in the black and Latino community in the primary, one of the biggest reasons she won mathematically. But that was, she won that in the South, which meant nothing. Which meant that was Charles Smith. That meant nothing in the regular election, and we knew that. Linda West, most Hillary supporters only source their info from corporate media, like my mom, says Linda West, which is very true. Cognitive dissonance, yes. Grasping for straws, exactly. It's yeah, but whenever you Brenda is Stu, you can't say take your medication now because now they call you Albius, which I didn't even say at first, which was just I couldn't even believe it. Albius, dude, they tried to make mentally ill because I don't agree with your point. BS first. Oh, Chanel was there during the argument, and I think Chanel saw some of it. I'm not sure if she was there for it. That might have been a different argument, Chanel, that I got into. I just said something today also that I got pushed back on, where I just said American Zeitgeist cares more, and I'm paraphrasing my own comment, but I said American Zeitgeist cares more for Bill Paxton than they do for the water protectors. And this guy fought me on that one. And I'm just saying, American Zeitgeist as a whole it cares more about celebrities than they care about Native American Indians. I don't think that's an incorrect statement, but yet I got pushback on that today. And I also feel like kind of comes from that racism kind of area, right? So if you say Black Lives Matter, somebody pushes back. If I say people care more about celebrities than the Native Americans, somehow that's not accurate to them. Somehow that's an attack on them. And the reason why I bring this up tonight is because it's disturbing to me, and I really believe we are in deep, dark trouble. Like, I really believe I don't feel and see any way out of this. I'm really feeling deep and dark and depressed about, Tom Perez being elected. And, I told you guys, I don't know what video it was, 2 days ago, I told you Sam Ronan wouldn't get one vote. I told you Sam Ronan would not get one vote, and he reported that he did not get one vote. I'm pretty sure you guys can check that, but I told you that was going to happen. We had lots of practice with Hillbots in 2016, so we are seasoned. Yes, I'm sure everybody here has had this weird confrontation with Hillbots, and I keep saying Hillbots because you know what I'm sort of saying about, and I don't like that term. I must make that clear, but there's no other way to sort of explain, right? To say it with that quickly. You'd have to say Hillary zombie or something. I don't know. There's no politically correct way for them, but they just say the same stuff, and there's no accountability. It's just like the DNC, right? There's no accountability. They're not taking any accountability for no matter how you feel about Bernie. I don't care how you feel about Bernie, but we can agree on this, right? The DNC has taken no accountability for what they did to Bernie. None. An apology from Donna Brazile does not count. She was part of it. She cheated too. Her head should have rolled too. She never should have got the DNC chair. So there is no accountability, and I don't think any of us can work from that area, right? If you're not going to take an accountability for yourself, hello from San Diego, California. I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your first name, Mr. Gomez. Same old cliche. She didn't lose because she is a woman. That's the other thing they say. That was from Lori. Hold on. Well, they just do that because you're a male, right? They call me a sexist and a misogynist, and I swear to you, I'll show you the whole conversation. I said nothing sexist and misogynist except that I said that I did say things like she was a flawed candidate, that she lost to Trump, but I never said anything that should have. That gave any indication that I was a sexist or a misogynist, and I did vote for Jill Stein. I'm not a sexist or misogynist. Let's see when they say that I'm already defending myself. It's a great way to push you into the corner. Sorry. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, right. I'm just saying that Kalori said she got most of the black vote in the South, but I'm just saying, can you imagine if someone in Texas, I'm not making any broad statements, blame the election on black people not voting, which I just, I don't think any of these people are paid. This was like a legitimate page I went to. This was like a friend's page who's sort of like one of those people who lean, like they're on that Hillary Bernie fence, and you never really know where they stand, and they're in politics, so they're dancing that dance. Anybody who's a Democrat or wants to run for office is going to have to dance that Hillary Bernie dance. That's no easy feat. I get that. But she was legit, and these people were legit. I always vet them to make sure, they were just it was just a normal conversation. It wasn't a page or anything like that. Peter Church says, it seems to me they were blaming blacks for Hillary losing to Obama in 2006. I don't know about that, Peter, but I would imagine that's probably true. Oh God, does anybody have the time? I need the time check real quick too. Hillbills aren't critical thinkers. Someone said something about Ronan. Hold on. My hands are freezing out here. DNC Mafia robbed Bernie Sanders of the nomination and robbed Samuel Ronan too, and robbed the American people. That's Kathy again. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Karen Puckett. Oh, like my hat. Sorry, I wear it too much, but it's freezing out here. I wear a lot of Bernie swag. Crystal Berry says Russians. I couldn't even watch most of this stuff. And then Trump goes out, and I'm really scared that Trump is, picking up. All right, I got to scroll up again. I really feel that, Trump is really playing a masterful game by sort of playing the middle and, calling out their faults. And as much as I despise that motherfucker, he's playing a masterful game of, using their riggedness. Is that a word? Is it like truthiness? Their riggedness? Using their riggedness. Oh yeah. Do we have a troll among us? I don't know. Shannon says her lack of political understanding and 1% status, out of touchness. I like that. Shannon makes her hard to elect. Oh, Jill, I mean. 11:56. Thank you, Sandra. Someone tell me when it's 12 a.m. So we got 4 minutes. Teresa says, okay, sorry, don't judge me. It just looks, it looks like his clothes are torn, and why is he outside? Just concerned, so fuck you. I don't know what that last person was talking about. Someone's worried that I'm homeless. Not yet. You never know, though. You never know. Yeah. I don't mind trolls, people. Don't fight back with the trolls. I love trolls. Trolls fire me up. They get me going. I've never been a troll hater. Actually, Steve, how he met is I used to troll Steve's videos, and now I became his biggest fan, Steve Grumbine, the creator of this site. So I used to troll his videos because he used to sometimes be down on Bernie. I used to get on there and say, protect Bernie while he was doing his video streams, and then we became friends, and he asked me onto this network. And, it's really Steve that allows me to come on here, as long as I'm not a douchebag and saying mean things about people or whatever. I'm not beholden to anything. I don't have an overlord. Steve's never come to me and said, don't do this, do that. The only thing they said to me is make sure you broadcast in landscape. And then tonight they said, make sure you label your videos, which I used to do on my podcast. I have a podcast, excuse me, it's getting freezing out here. I had a podcast called talkbernietome.org/podcast, and we would always give a good brief synopsis of our talk so that, they can house them and they can archive them. So now I have to do that from now on, but it's hard to always know what you're going to talk about. But anyway, I don't know what the time check is, but I really appreciate all you guys, and always be free to ask me questions and be involved. And you guys are so important to this network. It's not us. It's the numbers. It's the numbers of people who come into this and grow. So if you can share it and get more people to join the site, it's so important because we have to be honest with ourselves. Just like I tell you about Jill Stein and the Green Party and the lack of people involved in that movement, the literal metrics that you can measure through social media that they cannot deny, which is like Facebook and Twitter. You can't deny that. Now, you can say the vote was stolen, but you can't deny legitimate Twitter and Facebook followings. So I know they say they got the election stolen, or the votes were stolen, but there's literally metrics that you can use. I hope it's not 12 a.m., but Crystal Berry says Jill Stein's the bomb. I love Jill Stein. I just don't know if she has the, I'm digging you, Steve. We have a troll among us, and I'm totally missing the troll. Lori Root Riley said standard investment for 401k type. Most of us have them. So did Jill. I guess someone's trolling against Jill Stein. I don't know Charles Smith that well, but I think people are attacking him. Anyway, you guys are great. I just had an event tonight. I didn't really watch much of the media. I really couldn't take it this weekend after Tom Perez got elected. Not that it was going to change much. I just thought maybe they would throw us a bone. Not that that would mean much if they threw us a bone. It's time to figure out how we're going to create a larger party, and this is this network. I would say the other thing that really is disturbing to me is that, and I'm going to get off right after this, but I have 4 candidates, I think, that I can't even running for governor here in New Jersey. I have Murphy. We have Winniski, which I hope I'm saying right, and we have Steph Copperdale. Those are 3. Oh, and I have Raymond Lesniak. So we have 4 candidates running for governor. One Green, 3 Democrats. 1 considers him a Bernie-crat. But I can tell you that I barely know anything about them. So I still have a lot to research myself about these 3 candidates. I barely know anything about them. And that's just disturbing to me. I don't know why I brought it up. But anyway, you guys are great. It's 12 o'clock. Thank you, Christopher Hammonds, for telling me that. I appreciate that. I will check into Charles Smith, the angry troll, later. I love you guys. You know that. That's not a lie. You guys are so important. Check out all our videos, share our videos, help in any way you can. And I can't say it enough. This has nothing to do with us or me. It's all about you guys. And hopefully we can still build this third independent movement, however we're going to do this. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay strong. Berniebots, Hillbots, independent bots, progressive bots. I love you guys. Take care.